After watching 3 films of Marcus Williams from 2021, came away really impressed with how aware, savvy, intelligent the guy is, playmaking ability. I'll show an interception against the Packers. I'll show a couple of plays here where he's able to stay between 2 routes in a complementary route concept, kind of trying to play a half technique between 2 routes and basically wants to break on the ball once the quarterback has thrown it. He doesn't seem to commit too early. He doesn't seem impatient at all. He seems very aware of routes, and something I tried to say in a live stream that went down pretty quickly was that he has what I would say is high beams and low beams in terms of his eye focus. He can see the quarterback and see the routes developing at the maybe not at the same time. Maybe he's just able. He's one of those guys that's able to bounce his eyes back and forth without his eyes jiggling. If you've ever ran full speed and tried to track a football, or ran full speed and tried to track a baseball as an outfielder, you understand it. Depending on how you run, depending on whether you're on your heels or your toes or whatever the case may be, your eyes may bounce some and you may not be able to focus. Marcus Williams seems to have great eyes and the ability to stay between routes no matter what type of route concept is being run at him or to his side of the field. So let's get to some of the tape. Really impressed with him. I'm going to show mostly good plays. I think there's 1, maybe 2 plays in here that can be, construed as negative. So here he is playing half. Looks like a half field technique against the Packers in Week 1. Really aware guy. He's got, first of all, here's one safety here, and then here is Marcus Williams, and they are going to play this route concept. Really cool. They're going to switch it. So this safety here is going to jump the over route. And then the vertical is going to be played by Marcus Williams. Now, they actually do this in the opposite way later on in this film, and they mess it up. They both take the over concept, the first over concept. Very well-coordinated, smart football player. Here's the play that I was mentioning. Same concept. He's to the field now. They motion the fullback or the H-back out of here. So you got three receivers here. 2 tight ends and a receiver. And they're going to get an under by number 80. And both Jenkins and Marcus Williams are going to jump that route. And then this guy right here, 16, is going to be wide open. Anomaly. This is a very anomalous for Marcus Williams. Usually fits everything well, whether it's a run or a pass play. You can see he recognizes it now. He recognizes that Jenkins is in relationship with the under, and then the over, which was the outside receiver, is the route that he should have been covering, I guess. And it depends on how the Saints like to play this. You saw from the previous play, there was a vertical by 1. The frontside safety played down on the over route, and the backside safety went with the vertical, but there was more field there to defend. In this case, you've got an under and an over route by 16. So to me, I think it's possible Marcus Williams is right here in playing, but there's 2 routes here. There's 2 of them. I think Williams playing the under and Jenkins playing the over, could be a better option, but it depends on their scheme, what their coverage was, called to the field here. Obviously, the quarterback's got a lot of time. Saints were somewhat inconsistent at getting to the quarterback in certain games, but really devastating in others. All right, really well coordinated on this one. He's going to make a break on this out route by the number 3 receiver, which I think is DJ Moore from University of Maryland. And the way that this is coordinated, the way this is timed up, you got a tight end here, presumably being guarded man-to-man by this DB. This safety's going to roll to center field. This DB's getting off with a vertical by 2. So what it allows Marcus Williams to do is to play this out route by Moore and get a pass breakup. So very well coordinated, very aware. I didn't really see the pre-snap communication here, but these guys are on the same page, probably because this trip's with the back to the side of the trip, so they know they need the safety over there. So what I mean by that is you got the back, which is Christian McCaffrey, who's a hell of a receiver out of the backfield, on the same side as the 3 receivers, so they recognize that one of the safeties has got to be ready to come down and help, and let's get this guy to center field, leave everything man-to-man on the backside. Anyway, great play by Marcus Williams. I haven't seen the Ravens safeties do this. I haven't seen the Ravens safeties that well coordinated, running the backside safety to center field and the front side safety make a play on the front side. I haven't seen that. Look at the range that he displays here, center field against the Packers. When a ball is thrown, or when the ball is released here, Marcus Williams is already taken off towards the pylon, gets over the top of the route. Nothing there for the quarterback. Probably maybe overthrown intentionally by Rodgers. He recognized he had nothing. But in any case, huge range that Marcus Williams can cover. This is going to be an interception on a 3rd and long. If you can see it down there, you got 3rd down marker visible. Boundary side safety, where Davante Adams is, and Adams is going to run this little outside release. He's going to go get an interception to the field. Again, it's a poorly thrown ball to the number 2 receiver running a vertical. The front side safety takes 3 on the in cut. So number 3 receiver goes on in cut, and the front side safety goes ahead and jumps that. So I think the Packers knew that this coverage was possible and called this play intentionally. So you get 2 vertical, 3 on the in cut. This guy's jumping the in. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to create a one-on-one here. And unfortunately for them, Marcus Williams cancels it from the backside. Really cool adjustment by him. Now this to me looks like he's reading quarterback. I mentioned earlier that he can see the quarterback and react to the routes appropriately. I think he's just holding here long enough for Rodgers to not throw the ball to Davante Adams. And then as soon as Rodgers looks to the front side, you can see now Rodgers is looking front side, Williams is gone. I think he plays games with quarterbacks. I do. I think he plays games with quarterbacks like that. Let me hold this area to prevent a particular route from being thrown, and then I'll go ahead and react to whatever else is thrown. That's what I think I'm seeing on that play, and what I think I'm seeing often from Marcus Williams. That type of safety play. Look, if you look at the safeties that have started for the Ravens in the past 2, 3, 4 years, the name that sticks out is Earl Thomas. Just watching this film, based upon the Earl Thomas that we saw in Baltimore, there is no comparison. Completely different level player. Completely different level range. Just don't see any similarities really worth mentioning between those 2 players in terms of how Earl Thomas showed up in Baltimore. I know that, Marcus Williams is 25 years old and Earl Thomas was a little older than that, by the time he got to Baltimore. But in any case, that's what I see. Really versatile, really smart, breaks on the ball, good ball skills, as you saw with that interception, smooth. Out route by number 2, vertical by number 1. Not only, I think just prior to this, I think he has eyes in the backfield. Now here it looks like he's reading the receiver. So he's going to get this little out by Robbie Anderson, and then a vertical by 1. And then whatever the coverage is that they have called, Marcus Williams breaks on it, but he stays on top of it. And that linebacker's clearly beat. He stays on top of it. At some point, he had looked back here and saw that the quarterback was extending the play. He's not going to jump this and get so tight to the receiver that on a scramble drill, this guy could come back to the football or maybe, bring it back into the middle of the field. Watch how he keeps distance from the sideline, not providing the quarterback or DJ Moore any opportunity to go middle or come back and open up, this area of the field here. Really smart. I think he's a savant in terms of how he covers the field, how he relates to the routes. He's able to look at the quarterback and the routes at the same time. 4th down here, you're going to have Davante Adams coming from the other side of the field. And it looks like a great play by one of Marcus Williams' teammates. And it is. I think it's Lattimore. So you get this under route by Davante Adams, and then you get something on the top of it here. Watch what Marcus Williams does when he recognizes that there's good coverage on Adams. You're going to see it. He's looking in the backfield. You can see he's clearly looking at the quarterback. He understands football, guys. He understands routes. And I think, mid-play, he adjusts and sees this guy's covered. Lattimore, I think it's Lattimore, is going to be able to recover and stay hip-to-hip with him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and erase this backside post. Now, I'm not saying that he takes a great angle on the backside post with his baseball turn here, and then this guy kind of would be able to bring this underneath. There is pressure in Rodgers' face. My point is he understands route concepts. He understands that one route being this almost always means something else on the backside being a post. Super, super smart football player, in my opinion. Ravens are going to benefit. It's going to be like having 11 and a half guys on the field against the pass from the standpoint of Marcus Williams can cancel things 18 to 30 yards and further down the field. Hopefully I said that in a way that makes sense. Getting two routes developing down the field here against the Panthers. Vertical from the other side of the field, and then Robbie Anderson on an out from the boundary side of the field. So you're going to get an out and a vertical. My contention is that Marcus Williams intentionally stays here long. He recognizes that he's going to have to cover this route. He understands that. But he's staying in between the two route concepts long enough to give the pass rush time to possibly get there, which in this case they don't, but also force the quarterback to have to read for a split second longer before he throws the football. Not on this play, but there are examples of what some people would call a coverage sack. I don't really call it a coverage sack in every case, but Marcus Williams understands I'm going to go ahead and stay between these two routes, make the quarterback read for a second longer, and then I'm going to go ahead and break once the ball's thrown. Now, he doesn't break once the ball's thrown here, and it is a completion for a first down to Robbie Anderson. Hopefully, I illustrated my point there, even though this play doesn't live up to all the elements that I just described. This one here is totally opposite of what I'm saying to you. This is Davante Adams in the slot, running a little drag, and I think there's another drag from the other side of the field. Some people would call this kind of like mesh. And watch Marcus Williams just go ahead and break on Adams. It ends up being an interception by number 29. Ball's thrown a little bit behind Davante Adams. So I'm not offering to you that this is a great play by Marcus Williams. What I'm offering to you is that in certain situations, he's going to go ahead and jump the best player and make somebody else beat him. In this case, the best player being Davante Adams. Rodgers appears to be reading something over here, possibly this guy who looks covered. Now, the way that you could say that the Saints play this is they'd let this inside linebacker take this crosser. And then the slot DB and Williams take Adams. So this might have been a planned thing. Still, I contend that Marcus Williams reacts quickly. People continue to use the word processing. It's just recognition is all it is. Film study, recognition, and then the athletic ability to react to whatever that film study and that coaching has given you. Oh, by the way, he can tackle when people get past the second level, whether it's in the passing game or the run game. Here's going to be a slant by the slot receiver, by the number one receiver down bottom. You got DJ Moore beating the outside corner on this little curl flat concept. I think it's DJ Moore. He squirts past the corner, and Marcus Williams is able to make the tackle. He's a good tackler, sure tackler, complete football player. I don't know that he'll be asked to do this a ton. He plays in the box well. Heavy formation, tight formation by Carolina. Looks like an extra offensive tackle right here to me, number 70, along with a tight end. So that's what I mean when I say heavy personnel. Watch Marcus Williams make the tackle one-on-one on Christian McCaffrey. Fits it perfectly off the crack block, pseudo crack block by the receiver. This receiver, which I think, again, is DJ Moore, is lined up tight. He's going to block down. And Williams is going to fit off of that block perfectly. Make the tackle chest to chest. You can see DJ Moore taking him down. Motion guy presumably is trying to hold someone. McCaffrey bounces outside. Boom, chest to chest. Great tackle. He could play strong safety. With his commitment to technique, his physicality, his strength, and tackling ability, he could play strong safety. But he's going to play free safety for the Ravens, and that's generally what he's played in his NFL career. Very versatile player. Takes on blocks here. Helps condense the gap. That's the fullback in there. Marcus Williams is taking him on with the inside shoulder. trying to make it to where McCaffrey can't bounce this thing outside, simultaneously trying to take him on at an angle and a depth in the backfield that forces McCaffrey to stay in here and run into all these helmets that are there. There's three of them. There's a fourth one. There's Williams' helmet. So you see there's a lot of guys in here selling out to stop this run play by Christian McCaffrey, who, by the way, this film for Marcus Williams is primarily comprised of film from weeks 1, 2, and 3. I did watch the Patriots game, which I think was week 2 or 3. I didn't include any plays from it. He only had 2 tackles. Not that he played bad. I thought actually that the Saints defense played quite poorly against Carolina. They played well against Green Bay, but they played poorly against Carolina. And Marcus Williams played better than most of his teammates did. A run play by Christian McCaffrey right here, going to fit off tackle, and watch Marcus Williams make the tackle. Now there's help here, but he stops Christian McCaffrey inside the 2-yard line from scoring. Good tackler, savvy football player, very intelligent, athletic, 25 years old, signed for, what appears to be a little bit less than some thought he was going to get out there on the market. Already started 76 football games in the NFL at age 25. Consistent performer, between 2 and 4 interceptions per year. Man, I love this signing. I do. I know that we were, for 24 hours or maybe 36, maybe a little less than 36, we were all worried about, why aren't the Ravens doing anything, et cetera, et cetera. And there's probably some people who are like, I never heard of Marcus Williams. Well, I get it. You may not focus on defensive plays as much as some other people, or you may not recognize some of the subtle things that he does. I think I have seen him. I don't want to use the word bait, but I think I have seen him take away routes by alignment and initial steps and movement, like that play I showed you where he was on the backside and Rodgers was looking at Devonta Adams and Marcus Williams sitting over the top. And then as soon as he sees Rodgers look away, he does the type of stuff that Ed Reed does. He knows, okay, we got a 5-man rush here. I'm going to go ahead and take off because the ball's got to be thrown. We got a 5-man rush coming, and we're going to get there. I think he's like a guy who plays 4D chess. He does not just play this play. I think he understands film study. He understands tendencies based on film study, His coaching must have been really good, at least from the film that I saw of these 3 games. I could not imagine the Ravens making a better signing for the money they did. I'll have something out on Moses, the right tackle who played with the Jets last year and previously with Washington. I know everybody's really excited about that one. I am too. I tried to do a live stream this evening, and would not comply. If you guys have given any thought to checking out my Teespring account where we have some merchandise, I'm trying to liven it up a little bit, put some sayings on there. If you have any thoughts or ideas about what to put on there, let me know. Appreciate you guys checking out the video especially after the failed live stream tonight. Once again, Marcus Williams, great signing. Could not think any higher of the job the Ravens front office did here.